All right, welcome back to the AI for 2021 Healthcare Summit. I hope you're having an awesome time so far. Our next speaker is Aurélie Drouet. She's a product marketing manager at Sama. Please join me in welcoming her to our virtual stage.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Great. Thank you so much again for taking the time to join this session. My name is Aurélie Drouet, and as Patricia mentioned, I'm responsible for product marketing at Sama. For those who don't know, Sama is a leading training data provider with over a decade of experience supporting a diverse range of industries and machine learning use cases. Our talking point today is how AI is transforming healthcare. All right, so first, we'll be discussing how AI is currently adopted by medical devices and biotech companies. Next, we'll talk about the importance of data quality and how partnering with Sama can help your models get to production more efficiently. Then we'll take a glance at what the future holds for this space. So we'll take a look at the 4 major applications that are on this slide today. First, robot-assisted surgery is really exciting because it helps surgeons enhance their performance during procedures by, for instance, navigating more accurately to specific areas of the body while avoiding nerves and muscles. Remote health monitoring is also used to catch vulnerabilities early and prevent diseases before they actually occur. In the disease diagnostics section, we will look at how AI also powers more efficient and accurate disease detection, characterization, and monitoring. For instance, in the context of brain disorders, liver problems, kidney stones, and cancer cells. Lastly, machine learning algorithms can reduce the escalating costs of drug discovery and development, and that's what we will talk about in our last section. Great, let's talk about robot-assisted surgery first. In recent years, investment for robot-assisted medical devices has positioned doctor-machine collaboration as a model for the future of surgery. Despite only making 2% of all procedures, the market for robotic-assisted surgery is currently valued at over $4 billion, which is already half the size of the market for traditional minimally invasive surgery. So what does that mean for patients? When paired with high-quality training data, robot-assisted surgery enables faster and safer operations. According to the Mayo Clinic, these surgeries result in fewer complications, quicker recovery times, and minimal scarring compared to traditional procedures. Not only do those innovations offer improved patient experiences, but they are also really critical to streamlining operations, as the World Health Organization predicts a global shortfall of nearly 10 million medical professionals by 2030. So let's look at a concrete example here. One company that had a lot of success in the space is Intuitive Surgical. They created the first machine approved by the FDA for robot-assisted surgery. It's called the Da Vinci surgical system. And since its invention, the system has completed more than 5 million surgeries while pioneering new capabilities in minimally invasive surgery. Which is really exciting is that in studies that leverage well-trained AI datasets to power Da Vinci system surgeries, the baseline recognition accuracy is shown to improve by an astounding 25%. And we'll talk a little bit more after what that means. It's really proving the power of accurate AI in the future of these innovative operations. In addition to improvements within the operating room, AI is also set to revolutionize how we monitor our health from home. Indeed, over 88% of hospitals are investing in remote patient monitoring technologies right now, and that can be really helpful to prevent diseases before they occur. One great example of that is the UK's NHS, which had great success when it piloted an AI-powered health program that basically discharged hospital patients with a Wi-Fi-enabled armband to monitor basic vital signs remotely. The result of this program is that they witnessed a reduction in hospital readmission rates, emergency room visits, and costly home visits. The wearable also increased long-term adherence to treatment plans to over 96% compared to the prior rate of 50%. I also really like this other example from a group in Australia who used machine learning and electronic health record to predict hospitalizations due to diabetes and heart diseases about a year in advance with up to 82% accuracy. So if you think about the advantages of those approaches for patients, but also the healthcare system, it's huge. Indeed, as we work to prepare ourselves for any future health emergencies in our increasingly connecting world, AI-powered wearables have really the power to catch vulnerabilities at the source and enable individuals to make informed decisions on their health in real time. Not only will this help save lives, but it considerably cuts down on the cost of emergency room visits and saves doctors time. AI can also help with the diagnosis of diseases. Let's note here that it's not as a replacement for physicians, but really to support their decisions and make recommendations based on analysis of large amount of healthcare data, such as electronic health records, symptom data, medical images, doctor reports, and more. So how would that impact the healthcare experience? Well, this can really improve and speed up decision-making when diagnosing and treating illnesses, which in turn, again, will improve health outcomes and ultimately save lives. It also helps to reduce healthcare costs significantly, because indeed, diagnostic errors today contribute to about 10% of patient deaths and 6 to 7% of hospital complications. A review by Johns Hopkins showed that the total payout attributed to diagnostic mistakes in the US over the past quarter century is about $40 billion. So how can AI help to improve healthcare diagnostics? Well, I really like this example from Mount Sinai. Basically, a group of scientists, physicians, and researchers from the Mount Sinai AI Consortium dedicated their time to developing AI in medicine. And the challenge that the group landed on was to identify markers of acute neurological illnesses, such as hemorrhages and strokes. They focused on this problem because time matters, because a patient's clinical condition is something that worsens, in some cases, by the minute. So because this is extremely time sensitive, that's why you need more efficient and accurate diagnosis more quickly. As a result, they leverage computer vision to identify a problem from a CT scan 150 times faster than it would take a physician to read the image. So that's really huge in terms of improving healthcare outcomes for those patients. Another really amazing use case is actually using machine learning to diagnose breast cancer. And the numbers here are really astonishing. In the US, about 12 million mammograms are performed annually, according to the CDC. And which is crazy is that 50% yield false positive results. What that means is that 1 in every 2 healthy women are told they have cancer, according to the American Cancer Society. And when you look at biopsies, you have about 1.6 million biopsies performed annually in the US, and about 20% of those are unnecessarily performed due to false positive mammogram results of cancer-free breasts. That's also an estimate from the American Cancer Society. So that's why if machine learning can enable review and translation of mammograms 30 times faster with 99% accuracy, that's a lot of surgeries that are unnecessary that can be avoided to increase the well-being of patients and also decrease healthcare costs. Lastly, we want to take a look at how AI can impact drug discovery and development. So to give you some context, the cost to develop a new prescription medicine that gains market approval has gone up 145% to $2.6 billion over the past few years. And it now takes an average of 10 years to develop this new prescription medicine. Yet, because both the quantity of and quality of data and also the tools for studying biology have advanced so dramatically, many companies are now betting on the fact that AI can change this dynamic. For instance, let's take a look at companies like Exscientia, InSitro, or Spring Discovery. They are basically using machine learning to explore the causes and potential treatments for some very serious diseases. What they do is that they basically, thanks to their technology, analyze the properties of millions of molecules to the structures and properties of approximately 150,000 proteins to uncover molecules that are likely to bind to a target. So by performing this step, what happens is that the list of possible compounds that may work for a drug is really narrowed. And what's the impact ultimately for pharma companies and patients? Well, GSK, for instance, reported that its partnership with Exscientia has led to a promising molecule targeting a novel pathway to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So again, advanced treatment and more efficient healthcare services here. So how do we actually get to those new innovations? So as we saw, AI has several longer lead implications for how we'll experience healthcare moving forward. Yet, given the industry's high-risk nature, any technology that is used within it must be of the highest quality. Because of course, if your AI training dataset is garbage, the result algorithm will be subpar. And a false positive in machine learning, as we saw in the previous examples, can really be life-threatening for a biomedical algorithm or robotic-assisted surgery. So let's take a minute to explain what we mean here by high-quality training data and why that's really important. In machine learning, training data is the dataset of labeled images, videos, audio, and other data sources that are used to train an algorithm. High-quality training data is secure, ethically sourced, and free of errors datasets that might come from, high-quality training data is data that is secure, ethically sourced, and free of errors that might compromise the intelligence of your algorithm. Those errors include, but are not limited to, things like poor or inconsistent data labeling, having a data set that is unrepresentative of the problem or scenarios a model is trying to solve. Another error could be the method of data collection violates privacy or property laws, the labeled data compromises ethical values, etc. So it's very multi-pronged approach here. And as you can see here on this wheel, high quality data is imperative to the success of AI application. And that's why 80% of the time of data scientists and machine learning experts is spent on generating, preparing, and labeling data. Only 20% of their time is actually spent on building and training models. So I've talked to a lot of machine learning practitioners recently, and it's really interesting because they tell me that they usually focus on the algorithm and have a tendency to underestimate the data. One of them told me that most of us consider it a pain, while I think that that's actually the biggest reward. And to better understand the boosts that a machine learning practitioner can get from high quality training data, I want to share an example that one of them told me. So he told me that he would spend months of PhD time tuning his model, and then suddenly another teammate would go out, find new high quality labeled data. It would feed this data to the model to retrain it, and all of a sudden the model's performance would get so much better. So basically what that means here is that you can really get a huge boost from getting additional high quality training data to improve the performance of your algorithm and ultimately unlock successful AI applications. So let's take a look now at how highly accurate training data was able to help medtech and biotech companies develop new applications. I want to share this great case study from a surgical robotics company that basically needed to enhance safety in surgical procedures. They employed AI to help solve this challenge and looked to SAMA to create training data sets to fuel their algorithm. SAMA focused on annotating surgical photos and images of surgical tools, which led to enhanced safety for patients, doctors, and hospitals. Which is interesting is that quality standards for this project were obviously extremely rigorous, with a maturity netting in the 99% plus quality SLA range. And the impact of this high quality data was really, really meaningful for both the doctors and the patients. Another use case that I would like to share that I think is really interesting is an AI-driven solution to digitally transform orthopedic surgery with a particular focus on hip replacement. So one thing to know is that successful hip replacements heavily rely on accuracy, and throughout the case, surgeons use fluoroscopic images to determine desired anatomic and implant alignment. Where SAMA helped here is that we annotated over 900,000 frames with a combination of bounding boxes and polygons, and we delivered clips at 99% quality to meet their demanding SLA. So what you can see as a conclusion here is that while the technology's potential is extremely exciting, there are several obstacles that challenge its success. And so rather than rushing processes to improve efficiencies, it's really essential that we lay the necessary groundwork now to build a truly integrated future of healthcare. So high quality training data is extremely important, and to achieve those AI applications and make sure they're successful, healthcare organizations should really invest in highly accurate data and be educated on the benefits of human in the loop and machine learning assisted annotation team. That way, the industry as a whole can really avoid the dangers of bias or inaccurate data by creating scalable and continuous feedback loops, achieving what neither humans nor a machine can achieve on their own. So as a conclusion, if we take the necessary steps to unlock successful AI now, the technology really has the potential to greatly improve efficiencies and outcome for the entire healthcare industry. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on. Awesome. Thank you so much, Aurélie. That was an amazing presentation, and I know the audience is giving you a huge virtual round of applause. For the audience, it's time for you to make your way to your next session. Along the way, make sure you accept your connection request and check out our amazing AI exhibits. Thanks so much, and we'll see you around.